television TV goers. Welcome. I can't believe you guys are here and you're not watching a baseball game. The Phils and whoever else is playing. This is awesome.
The Phils?
The Phils. Yeah, don't you know the Phils?
Just on a first name basis.
Yeah, man. Yeah, whatever. I mean, Pete Rose. How can you not say the Phils? Anyway, this is the first Good News Interactive Guerrilla Grassroots interactive, did I say interactive yet? Program of its kind. Interactive. So this show is about you guys. It has nothing to do with me, only a little bit, and so I'm glad you're tuning in and making the change happen, because this is the only way that we can do this. Like, I still have a couple things on my list that I have to get going. This is just merely material and somewhat superficial, but it all, every little bit helps. Like, I need to get a stainless steel coffee cup, because every time I go to Bread Alone, I feel like such a schmuck, because I always have to get another paper cup container. I mean, how many times did you do this? Come on. I don't want to say any names in the studio, but come on, I'm looking at you. Yes! Come on, raise your hand. Would anyone fess up? Look, no one's fess up.
I purchase about 4 cups of coffee every morning at Maria's.
See, she does. She doesn't bring her cup. And you know what? The cliffs in China are starting to disintegrate. The cement that we all use is adding to all of the chaos of the greenhouse gases. Politicians are ruling our lives. See, I pissed some people off and they left. Here's a little song I wrote about it. It's called The Fall. Am I going to sit down and stand? I'm going to sit. This song's...
simple calling, the world re-evolving towards the days of the dawning, my first, the falling away, falling away. So right, man, I'll write for so long as if someone could actually hear. Somewhere along the way we're bound to be tested in a foreign land, only to face our fears. I would like to re-evolve around the universe while I'm biding my time, revealing only the ones who say it's not theirs, then the ones it's mine. It's ours to decide. It's ours to decide. Thank you. For our next guest, I would like to invite Mike Plotsky to come up and do a tune of the beatest poetry, fattest, slap cat, jack shit you might hear in a long time. Dig, I'll move that chair for you if you want to sit.
I'll sit. Where am I here? In the right place? Am I apparently surrounded by Catskill Mountains behind me, or just a green screen? This is, big time TV, showbiz. I'm really impressed with the technical crew here. There's such a crew of folks. This is important. We've been invited here to read this piece, which is entitled An Incomplete, Inaccurate Verbal History and Commentary on Cool. Searching for coolness in an uncool time, why it matters, and just because it may be inaccurate doesn't mean it's not true. Once, it was easy to identify cool. You knew it when you saw it or heard it, but now, cool is obscured, elusive, slippery, vague. Most of the original cool cats are gone. Modesty or hipness may prevent some of them from admitting they was original cool cats, because being too old may be considered by some to be uncool. But they would be mistaken. Age has nothing to do with cool. The concept of cool is ageless, and it is in a state of constant revision. Part 2, Miles of Cool. Miles Davis scored the birth of the cool, leaving no doubt of his coolness and giving me an opportunity to use him as a historical vantage point of coolness. BM, DM, and AM. Before Miles, during Miles, and after Miles. Miles was undoubtedly cool. In fact, he was like a cool barometer. All levels and matters of cool could be measured in miles. Miles brought the cool right up on stage and flaunted it, dragged it from the subliminal dark dressing room where Charlie Parker had it trapped in a birdcage, and ripped it open in the bright spotlight for all to see and hear. Groove, wailing, bandmates in harmonious cooldom, paving a road and exposing many to the cool with hot, hot jazz. Part 3, BM Cool. Lord Buckley reigned as his high holiness of New Orleans cool, breaking barriers of coolness beyond the farthest. I heard some photographs of Lord Buckley sizzled and popped spontaneous combustion crumbling into hot ash while held one Christmas Eve during a blistering hot version of the Nazz. Now, how cool is that? Of course, that may be a myth perpetrated by Professor Longhair. You just can't believe every cool story you hear. Them cool cats can weave some long yarns embellished with cool exaggeration for proper effect, the effect being felt in waves, creating a general feeling of blissful, collective cool. Because of this sort of embellishment, coupled with the consumption of at least alcohol, not to mention a few other stimulants, a factual study of cool is difficult. Before Miles and during Miles, cool was somewhat of a secretive underground scene populated by artists and bohemians, riding a cool wave. Jazz cool, beat cool, rhythm cool, blues cool, now cool, zen cool, all coexisted in peace. There were some casualties from overexposure to cool lifestyle, and Miles Davis was eventually stricken by chronic terminal overcool, so taken by the cool that he became unapproachable, retired to Los Angeles, and froze. Part 4, After Miles Cool. Sometime after Miles froze from overcool, a few years after the psychedelic cool stirred the pot so briskly that nobody was quite sure if cool even had any meaning. Right around the time when some of the cools were slipping into the uncool world, being assassinated, the cool bubble burst. It scattered and diluted and dripped and dangled and got damaged. And while it struggled to survive an attack that cool had to deal with, until the advances of 20th century capitalism. Now some cool cats of the way back past. The problem before cool was even named cool. Cats like Mark Twain and Thoreau. I digress, and time is of the essence because cool is endangered, and no simple trip to Walden's Pond or Jim Morrison's grave will help. Part 5, the kidnapping of cool. The kidnapping of cool was a slow, sneaky process, a conspiracy of great proportion and consequence. Advertising agencies began to market cool to a young, unsuspecting audience, subverting the essence of coolness into an altogether different ideal, tearing the tender fabric of coolness and exposing it to legions of high school kids, not at all ready to cool. They sold the image of cool, not the essence of cool. Coolness went against the status quo, the accepted ideals of normancy. It was the unexpected, not the expected. It was no to joining the army or climbing the corporate ladder. Cool was Joe Namath on the sidelines in a white fur coat, not Ozzie and Harriet selling insurance and keeping house. Unseen evil forces have kidnapped our cool and held it for ransom. Hijacked by flim-flam Hollywood producers and high-tech sales reps, showboat promoters, video game designers, and military recruiters, it has been market-tested and made into movies like Top Gun. Shallow, cool Tom Cruise in movie cool is really corrupt Congressman Duke Cunningham, selling our future to the military contractors that need wars in order to justify their existence. And this is not cool. This is captive cool, and it must be released. We must snatch back cool from the image makers and the warmongers. They have trespassed on our cool domain, and we must take it back. The collective cool has been challenged and cursed and changed. We must not pay the ransom to the kidnappers. When a kid loads a gun instead of a bong, he has paid the ransom. When a kid joins the army instead of a band, he has paid the ransom. I am here to preach to the church of new cool. We must carefully identify cool. There is no cool merchandise, only cool behavior. Sam has clubbed cool into submission, and we must leave the store, guide each other to the heat of cool, and warm in it together. We've traveled a long road from musicians jamming to rappers jamming bullets at each other. The collective cool umbrella has torn, it's ripped and wounded and crying in the rain. Phony marketing and military strategists must be denied access to our cool. We must reclaim it. Coolness must develop a new objective reality. Phony, pretentious cool must be heated and released into the atmosphere to dissolve and disappear. Real cool will not evaporate. It is constant and stable. It is in our hearts and minds. It is in our spirit and soul. Do not pay the ransom. You cannot buy cool. You can only be cool. Got it? Get it? Cool! Thanks for letting me indulge.
All right, Mike, that was really great. Where can we hear your poetry?
Well, I'm actually not appearing anywhere. I'm open for dates. Any producers out there who want to book me, any publishers that are interested in me, I'm around Woodstock. Put up a flare and I'll see it.
All right. Okay, so there you go.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you very much. All right, well, soon we're going to have up the Green Economist. I just wanted to make a little comment. As the moral advisor, I've been dubbed by our crew. Morality at its finest! A couple of weeks ago, some of you might have seen a rather traumatized moral advisor, but I got to say I've been looking around, and I have been seeing some real light shining out there. I've been by Don Moore's church. See a big smile? He likes to bring on the smiles. If any of you want to have a little praise God therapy on Sundays, go check out Don Moore's church in West Hurley. Woo! All right. He can shake it up, boy. He's a rock and roller. Okay, so now we're going to have the Green Economist. All right, Green Economist. That's an important activation for us today. Okay.
Environmentally green industries? Sounds interesting. Environmentally green economies? Sounds exciting. How do you expect to do it? You forget? We're a warrior nation. Oh, by the way, cool. You know? Ezekiel's cool. The guy that came to be known as Jesus is cool. Why is it that Christ the Lord is to be feared? Now, where were we at the fork in the road? Environmentally green economies? Industries? What does it take? A commitment. What is a commitment? Take the $5 bill, flip it over. Where is the temple of God? The government building. We need our commitment. A commitment from the government? You mean like the town council? Sounds about right. What kind of a commitment are you talking about? Well, if you got a bellyache, what's mom's going to do? She's going to give you a physic. What, are you talking about giving a physic to society with a commitment from the town council? I don't get this picture. Well, let's put it in perspective. We need a pesticide-free zone of each of our communities. For those in the know, it's exactly like a colonic. And why is it exactly like a colonic? Because our children will be getting a better evening's sleep or slumber. And we can put Ritalin in the books alongside of the steam engine. And what's it going to take? A commitment to green industries. Pesticide-free zones. You want to build beyond a 1 and a 2 family home for the moment? It is going to be built environmentally friendly. Green, that is. Green as in money. Green as in economies. We have proven organic food industry is a multi-hundred billion dollar industry today. Thank you, those fortunate enough to get out of the trenches and climb the economic ladder. You proved what's available to us. Now, that commitment, pesticide-free zones, we all know about noise-free zones. We all know about attack-free zones and crime-free zones and now smoke-free zones. It is about time we have pesticide-free zones. And thank you, folks. And please, don't forget to vote. And give this young man with a lot of wisdom, Mr. Barack Obama, a vote of confidence. A true vote of confidence to lead us, guide us, my apologies, guide us forward. Guide us forward. Thank you, folks.
Ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise, straight from a 3-week engagement in Dante's Fourth Ring of Hell, it's Ken Formisano.
Oh, it was hot, let me tell you. It was hot down there.
My name's Kat. I'm going to play a couple of songs. Or I guess maybe only one. This is a song called Funny Not Funny. You would be my summer girl if I were not the fall guy. Slapstick mistakes without the benefit of outtakes, and dropping my lines. Now I know that ad-lib alone won't get me by. I am no comedian, no, it's not funny anymore. Yes, I know it hurts you, but it's just too dumb to cry over. Yes, I know it hurts, but I am just too dumb to cry over. Cry over. Crying out loud. The screen with you, misread my entry, my blocking, my miscue, the hijinks ensue. I will be rewriting this part pretty soon. The pilot's igniting with meager reviews. I will be rewriting your part to be true. The pilot's igniting. The pilot's igniting. If I were not the fall guy, I would play the hero this time. Slapstick mistakes without the benefit of outtakes. They keep me from limelight. Now I know that ad-lib alone won't get me by. I am no comedian, no, it's not funny anymore. Yes, I know it hurts you, but it's just too dumb to cry over. Yes, I know it hurts you, but it's just too dumb to cry over. Yes, I know it hurts. Hey, to come in. Yes, I know it hurts, but I am into coming. Yes, I know it hurts, but I am just too dumb to cry over. Cry over. Crying out loud. That was called Funny Not Funny.
Funny, not funny.
Yes.
Could I ask you what
Like
the
State of the
inspiration
World.
for that song was?
It's sometimes a lot of us would feel like
sometimes your life is just written like a bad comedy. It's always like the original intention of it, and sometimes you feel like in a regular everyday situation in life, you're a bad actor who just messed something up, dropped a line or,
I hear you about that.
And sometimes you try to save yourself with an ad-lib here or there and it doesn't quite work out.
Well, speaking of ad-lib, Ken, would you be open to doing a little bit of accompaniment for our poetry next segment?
Certainly.
Oh, cool. Come on, Mike.
I was told mad.
What's the feeling of the poetry?
So you guys work it out. This is totally deep, guys.
What's the subject?
I've written a few obituary poems. And this is actually a poem that started out as a telephone conversation and turned into this piece. It's about Larry Rivers, who was a big jazz fan and beatnik, and so if you just wing it on the guitar, that should just fit perfectly. It's called This Side Up. Did you hear? Did you hear? Larry Rivers died. I didn't hear. I didn't hear Larry Rivers died. When? When did he die? A week ago. Liver cancer. He was out in the Hamptons. Died out in the Hamptons. He was always in the Hamptons. I've been to his loft on East 13th Street. Art mover. Moved a lot of his work. He had a lot of work. Big work. Heavy work. Crated work. Uncrated work. Uncrated work at his loft on East 13th Street. Crated work stored at the Village Voice. Storage at the Voice. Big, heavy crates stamped Larry Rivers, This Side Up. Big, long, heavy paintings up in his loft. But Larry was never at his loft when I was. He was in the Hamptons. His assistants were at his loft. A lot of assistants. They were nice, his assistants. Not as many assistants as paintings. He had a lot of paintings. Big, heavy paintings. Long, wide, and thick. Not as big as heavy as Rauschenberg's. Rauschenberg's paintings were big and heavy. Heavier than Rivers, but Rivers were heavy too. And they always just fit in that old pulley freight elevator, cranking its way up to the studio where his assistants were, and he wasn't. He was in the Hamptons. My friend said she heard he traced a lot of his work, traced it first in pencil, like we all did in kindergarten, like the old television show, Quick Draw McDraw. Quick Draw McDraw would freeze the frame, and Quick Draw would scream, "Draw!" And you'd run up to the television with tracing paper and draw. Trace the picture. Larry Rivers traced his pictures like we did in elementary school. But his were bigger, heavier, and they sold for $20,000 or more. My trace pictures didn't sell, but Larry Rivers sold. His were better and bigger and heavier. I've seen them. I've moved them. Lots of them. And lots of them moved me. Stunning, huge manifestations of his vision. His legacy is hanging on walls all over the world. Big, long, heavy paintings. I saw lots of them. But I never saw Larry Rivers. Just his signature on the lower right-hand corner. He was in the Hamptons. Did you hear? Did you hear? Larry Rivers died. He was in the Hamptons. I wonder if on his coffin it said, Larry Rivers, This Side Up. Are we talking? Is this the interview segment of your show?
The interview segment of our show.
Oh, how
Would you
exciting.
say something by chance?
Oh, gee, to reach out to all of the people that are watching this instead of the World Series or Rachel Maddow or Larry King. You know, we're all in this together. That's all I can say is we should all remember We're all in this together.
We're all gonna hang together or we'll all hang alone.
We're all in this together, guys. And the good part is that it's come to be that time. Do you know what time it is?
9:30. Or time to vote. Or time to get the poets away from the microphone.
Cool eccentricist, trying to speak out the living kissed. Gonna write a book. One of these days he needs a publicist.
Everybody now.
He's a local herbalist, a community consultant. If you really need a doctor, don't go to him. He's the herbalist. He's the local community socialist, considered to be a terrorist.
What did I tell you about those
The
liars?
FBI and the CIA, he's an herbalist, terrorist. He's a local herbalist, a community consultant. If you really need a
Doctor, don't go to him. He's the herbalist.
So, everybody, you're going to guys New World Home Cooking to see Sonando and help all these children of Haiti and hurricane victims. Are they Haiti and hurricane victims everywhere, or are there hurricane victims from Haiti? I don't know. But
See
anyway,
the flyer?
When is it?
it is November 14th at 7:30 p.m.
That's a Saturday?
And it's it's Friday. It's a $20 donation. So I don't know if that's suggested or they're asking you. They're not letting you in the door. So it's getting cold, folks. It's about.
The sun is shining still, though.
Well, the sun's always going to be shining, no matter if it's cold or warm. But no, it's pretty cold. I mean, it's about as cold as it should be for maybe the middle of November, actually.
Hey, Mr. Herbalist, I got a question.
Mr. Yes, Mr. Lewis.
Mr. Lewis. I can't get us both on the same split screen. I'll
That's
just do
okay.
that.
You can negate me mostly.
So, what's the deal with Indian summer? When's that supposed to happen?
When's it supposed to happen? Right now.
So we're in Indian summer right now.
No, we're not. We're going into winter right
There
now.
we go.
We're skipping.
Wow.
We're skipping fall. We kind of had a good fall. I think we had a good fall. It was a pretty nice turn. Autumn, fall, autunno, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So no, I think Indian summer is over. I think we had it for about 3 days.
What's cool?
No, we had a good run. Maybe a week or two. We got it.
What herb are we going to discuss today?
Journey, you're very loud. Getting so close to the mic.
So what is? Since you're the meteorologist, Dave, or you were at one point, what is Indian summer?
Well, I don't know where you got that term that I was a meteorologist.
Well, you were
Maybe
the weatherman. It's a meteorologist.
Oh.
So, you know.
Yeah, but that was like the whether or not we should do stuff, man. Not the actual weather.
Well, that's here nor there. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
We did it more than once. We did that skit at least twice.
So
3 times maybe.
it is getting.
To me, Indian summer is when it gets. It's like during fall gets cold.
And during fall.
Come on. During fall, it gets cold, and then all of a sudden it heats up again, and it feels like summer for like a couple weeks.
An Indian.
No.
Why is it called Indian?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So,
Yeah.
with no more ado, let's talk about something else. So, I want to talk to you guys about sumac. And I'm not talking about poison sumac. I'm talking about...
How I can get rid of it?
You don't have poison sumac.
No, not poison. Just
How do you tell the
sumac.
difference?
It's
Well,
Staghorn sumac?
Completely different plant.
Aaron, are you talking about staghorn sumac?
Well, that is one of the names. It could be called staghorn. It could be called smooth sumac. It could be called upland sumac. And it could be called Pennsylvania sumac. And in this particular... Irving. Well, that's another one. I never heard of that one, but you never know. It's also known as Rhus glabra. Sometimes called upland or Pennsylvania sumac. And they spell it, see, I used to spell it S-U-M-A-C, but they spell it S-U-M-A-C-H. They did things differently back then in the 1800s.
Sumach.
Wait,
Sumac.
So just for the
So
hey Aaron, just for the people at home, this is the one that you see on the side of the road that's got those like red.
yeah, it looks like
coming
this.
up.
Oh,
Nice.
right.
You can't see my hand.
Here.
Okay, enough.
That's not a close-up. It's a side screen.
I don't think we
It's
have
like a
camera B's.
We can get a close-up of this here, or maybe we.
cable on the floor.
There is a cable on the floor, but.
Okay. Anyway,
All right, here we go. Close up.
close up. So it looks kind of like that, and it has a variety of uses. It's very astringent. These I picked a little bit late, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that. It's sort of the inside. It gets a little bit starts to sort of rot from the inside out. But this is actually not used for tea. This is going to be used for another good use, which I come across, which was smoking out bees. If you keep bees, you can use this in your smoker, and it's very less acrid for you and the bees, because usually if you use something else, it ends up affecting them more, and also it makes your eyes water, whereas this doesn't seem to do that. So I was told, which I have in my experience used it, and it seems to work pretty well. And that goes to Chris Harp, who is a biodynamic beekeeper, who told me that little trick. So it doesn't really matter that these are kind of damaged. Whereas this stuff, by the way, it takes a long time to process this stuff. This took a while.
How'd you do it?
Well, I got these things, but that were a little bit less ripened, and picked off all the little berries.
Show us how to do it?
No, because I don't have the because these aren't really meant to be taken apart.
You have to get different kinds?
No, don't mess with it.
But I don't
I don't care who she is. I don't want to mess with my. This is for my bees.
But I don't understand.
What don't you understand?
How do you harvest it?
You pick it off the tree. You go.
But then what do you do with those things? You have to make the noise?
Then yes, I have to do all these things that I'm doing. This is all required. Yeah, you should take notes. In fact, you're not taking notes. You're lying right now. You're standing there. Get your book out and get your pencil.
You don't have
Damn it. Well, we got to record it, so you have to look it up later. Anyway, I want to say something about this plant that's of some kind of use to someone besides just talking about it uselessly.
Did you talk about the lemonade thing?
No, I didn't talk about the lemonade thing. What about the lemonade thing?
Well, that plant, is really good. You take the red fruit when it's fresh, and all you gotta do is bruise it up a little bit and put it in water, like lukewarm water, and it actually just diffuses right out, and it makes like a lemonade flavored drink if you add sugar.
This is because sumac berries have an agreeably acid, slightly skeptic taste, which is due accordingly to W.J. Watson to a malic acid and tannic acids, besides which they contain malate of calcium, gallic acid, fixed and volatile oils, red coloring matter, etc. So yes, they're acidic and astringent. This is what it's used for a lot of the time. It's sort of an astringent. It tightens things up. It tightens up tissues, and it also is antiseptic. It can be used in antiseptic wash, was used in the 1800s as a tonic, astringent, antiseptic, and a decidedly alterative. The berries. See, this is what I don't. The berries are a refrigerant. Now, does anyone get that? I certainly don't. A refrigerant? I don't know how they'd be a refrigerant. But maybe they make you colder, I would imagine. Brings down your temperature. And diuretic, which makes you pee. In a decoction or syrup, the bark of the root has been found valuable in gonorrhea, leuconorrhea, diarrhea, dysentery, hectic fever, scrofula, profuse perspiration from debility. So it's also good for syphilitic ulcerations. It can also be put on old ulcers as an antiseptic. I'm thinking this means ulcers that are external, but maybe it means ones that are internal. Sore throat, sore mouth, resulting from mercurial salivation. I don't know when the last time anyone else has had mercurial salivation, but I haven't been eating mercury anytime recently.
I guess
But
that happens when mercury goes into retrograde or something.
right, exactly. Save your sumac from that time. And also, so you think for diarrhea, it's an astringent. It's kind of helping pull everything together. It's drying things up. It can also be good for, like it says here, diabetes, strangury, bowel complaints, febrile diseases as a pleasant, acidulous drink where acids are indicated, etc. As a gargle in quinsy, and ulcerations in the mouth and throat. A wash for wingworm, tetter, offensive ulcers, etc. So if you have any offensive ulcers, you might want to pick some of this up. I love this word. These are called excrescents. Excrescents.
That's the shape of the flower.
That is the flower apparently, but these are actually the flowers. These little things are actually the flower. The excrescent
and those are what end up in the bag. Right?
Yes, exactly.
So you didn't want me to touch it because they're messy?
Well, because if you start doing it, it's going to fall apart, and this is actually this is processed for tea because this was of exceptional quality, whereas this I'm saving to burn for bees.
That's like kind of the grubby part.
The grubby part. As you can see, I'll break it open because I also didn't want to get it everywhere. But if you look, the inside of this is kind of rotten and brown and such. You can't see the color because it's green, but never mind. Anyway, specific indications: uses, relaxation of the mucous tissues with unhealthy discharges, mercurial ulcerations, spongy gums, when you have those spongy gums, ulcerative sore throats with fetid discharges, flabbiness, and ulceration of tissue. So those of you who are too fat up there, go get some sumac, help slim you down. And the next one, of course, is Rhus toxidendron, which is, what's Rhus toxidendron? Anyone out there? Call in, calling all cars. What is Rhus toxidendron, please? Anyone?
7977777.
7777. Yes, I'm waiting for a call to tell me what Rhus toxidendron is. What is the common name of Rhus toxidendron? All right, well, call back. We're going to have another song.
Next show, whoever gets the common name of Rhus, say it again, Sam?
Rhus toxidendron.
Rhus toxidendron. Call this number.
Yes! Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
Get some of this.
Yes, you can have one of these.
So I'd like to
excrescents.
Thank every single person who made this dream a reality, or made this reality a dream. Don't let people who don't boogie and shake it get down, make rules for you, and be part of our vision, because these are busy at work, and you gotta keep them buzzing. So tune in next week, tune in now, tune in forever.
Tune in, drop out, and watch out for that Rhus toxidendron out there, everyone. If you happen to be allergic to it, it's pretty nasty.
But the herbalist has some remedies for you.
That I do.
But don't deliberately rub in the poison ivy.
No, well, unless you think that you're immune, which some people are, although sometimes the people that are immune end up becoming unimmune at some point, so watch out.
So also, if you want to come on the show, reach us.
Come on down.
You know how to get a hold of us. We're accessible.
679-7777.
Yeah, and tune in to WoodstockTV.org and WoodstockTel-A-Vision.